Hey guys, Sean here with OneStopSportsInvestors.com, and today I'm going to discuss how to really make money with sports betting. Because a lot of people failing out there. I think the numbers were something like 98% fail sports betting and only 2% succeed. I'm going to show you sort of an example of how you can succeed with it and make some serious money. Before I get started, I just want to let you know I am giving away a free report, Sports Investing Secrets. You can get a free copy of that visiting my website, OneStopSportsInvestors.com. How to turn $1,000 into over $1 million in less than 5 years betting on sports. It really shows you how to treat sports as an investment as opposed to gambling and investing. So once you're done watching this video, head on over there and grab yourself a free copy. So really, how to really make money with sports investing. So let's start off. We're going to talk about why do most people fail when they're sports betting? And there's a few reasons for that. And one of them is greed. Another one is don't manage their bankroll properly. So basically, they're betting way too much on per game, and they're not sort of being structured, and they're sort of just taking too many risks and really willing to gamble. And that's the third one there. And then the last one is that they really remain undisciplined like that, and basically they bet with emotions and so on. So what I want to talk about is the fact that you should not believe the hype out there. There's a lot of crap out there that's talking about, someone's winning 80% of his games or 90% of his games. There's these guaranteed winners. You've ever heard that or read it in the paper? They've got the guaranteed winner for this Sunday or tonight's thing, or we hear about the 100-star lock of the year or the 10-star lock of the month or what have you. All this hyped up stuff, and it's just really all crap out there. That being said, is it possible to really make money with sports? Damn right it is, but you just need to know the realities of it, and that's what I want to talk to you about it today. So 52.4%. Some of you may recognize this number, some may not, but basically this is the sports betting magic number, and it's based off of, and it works for sports such as football or basketball, where it's a spread, and usually you're laying 11 to 10 odds, meaning that if you want to win $100, usually you have to bet 110. So on all your losses, an extra 10% is going to the bookmaker, and that's how they make their money. So that being said, if you can establish a 52.5% win rate, well then basically you're in profit. Everything above that is profit. So although you can't make, it's impossible to get 80%, 90% win rates in the long term, really that's not what you're up against. What you need to do is really sort of beat that 52.4% number, and that's how you would make profit. So I want to show you how by a conservative example, how it is possible to really make money with sports betting. So we're going to go to the next screen. This is going to be the example I'm going to be using. I'm going to say that for this example, I'm going to be using that we have a starting bankroll of $1,000. Okay, and this is where a lot of people get in trouble because they don't know how to manage their bankroll properly. What they do is, let's say they have $1,000 starting. What they'll do is they'll bet, I don't know, $100 on one game, $150 on another, and then the one that they think is a lock or a guaranteed win, they'll bet another $300 on that one. Well, if they do get lucky and actually win all those games, yes, they've increased, they've had a nice day, they've won several $100s, but they can also lose their entire bankroll in just one given day. And if you don't have a bankroll, then you're kind of out of the game, and that's sort of why a lot of people fail. So what I personally use and what I personally recommend is when you're betting the same amount per game, not to bet any more than 5% of your bankroll. So that way you're limiting your risk on your bankroll. You're able to handle a few losses in a row, and you're not going to deplete your bankroll there. So for this example, 5% of 1,000, we'll be betting $50 a game, and I'm going to be using a win rate in this example of 57%, a conservative 57%. I'm not talking about winning 75% or 80%, 85 or 90% like that. 57%. I'm just going to show you how powerful it is, even with a conservative win rate like this. And then for this example, we're also going to be using a number of bets per day. I'm going to limit it to 2 bets. You're going to only make 2 bets per day. You're not going to be betting the field, just 2 bets, your best games of the day, and that's what you're going to be using. So That being said, let's look at this example a little bit more. So we have the starting bankroll is 1,000, bet amount is still 5%. It's at $50 is each one. Your win rate is 57%. Now the total games bet, 2 per day for the week, it would be 2 times 7, so you got 14 there. So let's look at the record at the end of there at a 57% rate. Well, that's actually only 8-6, and that does not sound that exciting. That's not the hype that we're seeing on TV or in the newspaper where, you know, they're going 9-1 or 8-2 and so on. But the reality is of it, on a conservative win rate of 57%, this is what it would look like. You're actually going to lose 6 of these games, and you're actually going to win 8 of them. So what that wins is total wins for the week would actually be 2. Now we need to take in consideration when on your losses you actually pay that extra 10% to the bookmaker. That's how they make their money. So we have to take that into consideration as well. So 10% on these extra 6 is actually another 0.6 of a win. So your actual net wins for the week turns out to be 1.4 net wins, or units. Some people like to call that units, 1.4 for the week. So you multiply that by your bet amount of $50, and you're actually showing profit of $70. Now that doesn't sound that exciting. Everyone's like, "Well, it's only $70. I'm not ready to, you know, I'm not going to be quitting my job over that. I'm not excited about telling my friends how I made money or whatever." But let's look at the power of what actually just happened. And what's more important than the monetary amount is the fact that you made an increase of 7% to your bankroll, which is quite significant. So your ending bankroll at the end of that week was actually 1,070. It doesn't sound that exciting yet, but let's look at what this translates into when you're talking about a 7% increase. Well, 7% weekly increase actually works out to a 28% monthly increase. I just multiplied that number by 4, and then over the year we're talking about a 28% times 12 months. Over the year, you're talking over a 300% increase on your money. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I am not getting these type of returns from the bank or in the stock market or whatever. So that's very, very exciting. But what I want to do is take it one step further now and actually talk about what would happen if we actually compounded this money over time and stuff like that. And to do that, I'm going to visit a site. You can Google in a compound interest calculator, and there's several that pull up there. I use moneychimp.com. They all work the same basically there. So what you do is you put in on your current balance, current principal. We started with $1,000, and in this particular conservative example, only winning 57% of the time, we were making a 7% increase each week, right? So we're making a 7% increase. So let's see what that would translate into over a year if you were to compound that, meaning that at the end of the week, you would have 1,070. Now your 5% of 1,070 would be your new bet amount, right? So you'd be reevaluating that. So over a 52-week period, if you were to compound 7% over 52 weeks, you calculate that you'd actually be able to turn your $1,000 into over $33,000 just based off this conservative example. So that's pretty incredible in itself. Let's just change this up here and let's just do it. Let's say you only want to compound it monthly. You want to reevaluate after each month. So in our example there, we had 28%. 28% would go down here, and then years to grow, which would actually be months, would be 12. We'd be doing it over 12 months. Your $1,000 at 28% monthly over 12 months. Let's calculate that there. You're talking about a $19,000 ending balance at the end of 1 year. That's 19 times your original money. You turned $1,000 into over $19,000 without investing any more money into your bankroll, and just sort of letting the interest and then compounding it and then reevaluating your bet amounts after each month with a 28% there. Let's even go a little bit like I said, I used a conservative example. Let's say you only get 20% per month. Well, that's almost a 900% increase down to almost $9,000 here. So I'm hoping you can see the potential here. What if we did the 20% over 2 years? That $1,000 could have been turned into almost $80,000 in 2 years. What about 3 years? If you just stuck with there, not putting any more of your own money back into the bankroll, you're talking about in 3 years, $1,000 bankroll at 20% per month gets you over 700,000. So just to show you, you can fill around with this. I really just want to show you the potential with this. Obviously, this is just as an example, but I tried to use some conservative numbers to show you the power of that. So anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. You can see the power. If you haven't already, visit my site, grab a copy of my free report. It really talks about how to treat sports betting gambling as an investment. I think you'll really enjoy it. It's absolutely free. OneStopSportsInvestors.com is the website. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll talk to you guys soon.